Hello, everybody. It is Presence, and today I will be reading to you two horror stories that I found on Reddit. Without further ado, let's continue. The first story that I will read to you was submitted to the horror_stories subreddit by username the_storm_, and it is titled Something is Down Here. I don't even know how to start this. I'm shaking, my hands are trembling, and I can barely type. If anyone reads this, please, you have to believe me. But whether you believe me or not, you must take this as a warning of what's down here. I work for a private marine research company you wouldn't even know the name of. We specialize in deep sea exploration and building underwater habitats. These are typically used for monitoring tectonic activity or studying ecosystems in places no human was ever supposed to reach. Last year, they finished installing a new station about 12,000 feet in the Pacific Ocean. Only a handful of us were assigned to live and work here for 6-month shifts, and everything was fine for a while until today at around 12:14 a.m. station time. The internal alarm went off, power was fluctuating, reactor unstable. I don't know what happened. Standard protocol would say to suit up and prep for evacuation, but communications were completely down. Something cut the power. We have no signal to the surface world, no contact. All we have is the emergency lights, just the sirens and that low sitcom from the reactor core. Then the camera started blacking out, one by one. Every external feed cut to static. Maintenance thought it was a short circuit. Then they sent McAllister out to do manual inspections with a rover. He never came back. The last thing we heard from him was a broken transmission. He was screaming about something moving, but it wasn't another submarine. It wasn't another diver. It wasn't anything mechanical or man-made. He said it was organic. He said it was huge. After that, all we had were those horrible noises, those scrapings, grindings, vibrations so deep they made our teeth hurt. The entire station started to sway. It felt like something was wrapping around us. I can't even describe what I saw next. Out of the observation dorm, right before the emergency shutters slammed down, I swear to God, there was an eye. One enormous, black, glassy, pressed eye staring into the dome like it was looking at us. No fish, no whale, no squid, nothing known to man. Nothing like anything I've ever seen or that anyone has ever documented. And it's still out there. The reactor's about to blow from the damage. I can hear the walls groaning. I can hear it moving, scraping, almost like it's trying to get inside. If anyone reads this, stay away from the deep. There are things down here we were never meant to see. We broke into their world, and now we're paying for it. I don't know if I'll ever make it. All my coworkers are equally panicked. I hope this gets published. This gets sent out into the world so people know what at least happened to us. I'm scared. This will be the last thing I write. Oh, dear God, please forgive me for all my sins. God, it's getting louder. Please, I'm sorry. Well, that was a very interesting story, and if you are afraid of the deep, or know someone's afraid of the deep, that would be a really interesting story. Let me know what you would have done in that circumstance. Would you have cried? Would you have prayed? or simply accepted your fate. The second story I will be reading for you was submitted to Creepy Pasta subreddit by Diddy Baby Oil, and it is called "This Is Not a Sleep Paralysis." Before continuing, I understand sleep paralysis is a fairly delicate subject to a lot of people, so if this frightens you or makes you feel uncomfortable, skip to this time frame where you'll just join another story. Without further ado, let's get into the story. 3 years ago, 262,000, 26,000, it's all so murky now. I can barely speak. I can barely remember. All I know is I'm missing you, Kelly. There's not a day that passes by without me thinking about you since you're gone. I can't really explain with words the way I'm missing you, and I hope that one day everything will be like it was in the past, when we used to laugh, jump with each other, smile together, and just have a good time. I'll never forget you, Dad. Ever since that damn night, I can't fucking sleep. 3 years have passed. 3 fucking years that have been full with nightmares at night and tears and during the day. But in the last couple of days, I know that I probably had mental issues. But I'm not crazy. I wasn't crazy at all. It's Kelly. I keep seeing her at night. I want to talk to her, but I'm scared. Mr. Cooper, I know that you're having a very difficult time trying to move on, but she's gone. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't make any sense. So you're saying I'm crazy? Not at all. Listen, have you tried talking with Emma? Ever since the divorce, we never spoke a word. She hates me. She's saying that I've gone mad and that I'm crazy, but I'm not. Are you sure? Have you tried talking to her about your meetings with Kelly? I mean, one time for 2 minutes, I told her that I see Kelly at night. She never believed me. That bitch. Sir, please, watch your language. Sorry. Look, I believe that you might be sick. Have you heard about sleep paralysis? No. What is it? It's when you wake up and can't move any part of your body. The only thing that are working is your eyes and your ears. Usually it happens once or twice in your life, but in your case, it might happen more. How often does she appear? Does she ever talk to you? No. She's just standing there, not saying a word. I always leave a note so she could read it, but she never even looks at it. Alright, look, there's not a lot I can do. I suggest you to be relaxed and clear your mind. Come back at the end of the month and tell me if it gets any better. That was one of my first meetings with my psychologist. And so I did what the psychologist said. I went home and tried to just relax. No phone, no work, nothing. Even though it was hard for me, it seems like it kind of worked. The whole day I was relaxed. I didn't think of anything. I just looked at the trees, the sea, everything that calmed me down. But it's getting late. I said to myself, I would lie to you if I'd said that I wasn't scared to go to sleep. What if I see her again? I'm afraid. But I was just too tired. tired, and as soon as I put my head on my pillow, my whole life changed again. I woke up at 1:38 a.m. to the worst scream I have ever heard. I remember that it was loud. It was terrifying. It sounded like Kelly, but at the same time, it was distorted. It's not Kelly. Leave me alone. I locked the door. I knew it wasn't her. I knew it wasn't Kelly. It can't be her. She's fucking dead. After around 5 minutes, that felt like 5 hours of screaming has finally fucking stopped. All I could do was cry. But I had no choice but to fall back asleep. I was just so exhausted. Until I woke up again at 2:17. But this time there wasn't any horrible noises. There wasn't any reason for me to wake up. Why? What? Who's there? I was sure I heard something, but I wasn't awake enough to understand, and it sounded like, no, it can't be. It can't be. No, it's not real. It's all in my fucking mind. It can't be. Daddy? You're not real. Leave me alone. Daddy, do you hate me? Why did you kill me? No, sweetie, no, I love you. But it's not you. I know it's not you. You're... Daddy, why were you drunk? I was supposed to be 8 years old. I loved you. I'm sorry. You ruined my life. Kelly is dead because of you. But now Kelly's with me. She's happy now. I will be with you for your whole life. Her voice has changed from a sweet voice, from Kelly's voice, to a voice that was dark, scary, and terrifying. But then there was the loudest silence ever. She's just... No, that thing just stopped talking. There was not a single noise, nothing. Almost like that monster got bored of talking to me, got bored of tormenting me. But now, when I think about it, that thing never hurt me physically. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. And now all I want to do was to close my eyes and think about her, about how much I miss her. I lost that connection with Emma, and actually, I met Rose. She was beautiful, and 3 years later I married her. We even decided to adopt a girl, Susan. She's so sweet, and yeah, I'll live a happy life now, as long as, and I moved on. Daddy? That was a very interesting story. Also, my first story on the channel where I've had to mimic other voices. So please leave your feedback in the comments. I love hearing from you guys and love any and all feedback that is given from you guys. Now, let's move on to the third and final story of this horrific evening. The third and final story of the night is called Phil's Playground, and it was submitted to the r/horror stories subreddit by Diddy Baby Oil. Without further ado, let's continue. For most people, Luna Park is an amazing pastime, a place where you can make memories for your whole life, and a place you call magical. I remember that when I was a kid, I've always wanted to go there. All of those TV shows and great times in the Luna Park and all of the newspapers, but because my family was not the richest, I've never actually been to one. So, ever since I was 8 years old, it was my dream to be in a Luna Park. I remember that there was a certain TV show called Phil's Playground. I used to watch it with my friends when we were younger, especially with Josh. Josh was my best friend. We grew up together and we always had each other's backs. I remember how we always had our own jokes that only we could understand. I still remember how much I loved the show. I also remember how much Josh and I enjoyed spending time together. We were addicted to it. There was something about that show that made me feel good. We watched it every day at 5 p.m. at Josh's big house. We liked all the characters, but one in particular, Phil. Oh, Phil. He had a strange hair, small ears, and a small bracelet on the right hand that said, "It's playtime." But the weird thing about him was his blue eyes. They were huge, not human. Josh and I always found it weird that his eyes didn't match his face. But we were kids, so we really didn't care. We loved Phil's humor, and in a way, we admired him. It was April 12th, 1987. At the time, I was 15, and I still watched Phil's Playground with my best friend Josh, but much less. Most of the time that we would meet was to do math homework and study for tests. It was that fateful day, April 12th. Josh and I met at his big and fancy house to do some homework. I knocked on his door, but he didn't open. I knocked again, yet no answer. "Josh? Josh, where are you?" I said. Finally, after 5 minutes of me staring at the door, he finally opened it. Josh welcomed me into his home, and we started to do the homework. It took us around 30 minutes to finish it. I was going to go back home, but then Josh said, "Hey, Dean, stay for a bit." I kind of didn't want to stay, but I did anyway. "Did you hear what happened to Phil's Playground?" he said. "What?" "No, what happened?" "Dude, it got shut down for unknown reasons." "Oh, do you know why?" "Nope, nobody does. Police aren't talking, and the news have more important things to do, I guess." Then I had an idea. One crazy, stupid idea. "Hey, why don't we go check out what happened? Ourselves. I mean, we're bored anyways." To this day, I don't know why those words came out of my mouth and why I didn't regret it. "Why not?" Josh said. "But it's getting late. We should do it tomorrow." I took a flashlight, water bottle, and a hat. And here we are. Here we were, riding on our bikes on our way to Phil's Playground. I was never there, and neither was Josh, so we kind of were so excited. It was far away, and honestly couldn't wait to see, for the first time, the notorious Phil's Playground. It's playtime. I thought it would be difficult to get in, but the place was empty. There was nobody there, no workers, no police officers, nothing. We started walking to the entry and left our bikes. We couldn't get through the gate because we had no tickets, but we managed to climb over the fence. "Wow, this place is huge," I said. And it really was. "Not exactly the way I wanted to visit here," Josh said. We saw a stand of Phil's dolls. I thought it was cool, especially because of the sound it made. "It's playtime!" With a cute voice, Phil's voice. Josh and I both took one and put it in our bags. We started to walk through the Luna Park, and everything looked normal until we reached the Ferris wheel. It was still working, but there was no one to activate it. It was strange. We were alone. "You think we're not alone?" Josh said. No, maybe they just forgot to stop it." It didn't make any sense, but it wasn't too strange. Josh said, "He needs to go to the toilet." And so he did. And I kept on staring at the Ferris wheel. I looked at every seat, but nobody was there except one thing. There was a weird, strange blue liquid. It smelled. I don't know why on earth would there be blue liquid on a random seat, but for some reason, I didn't really find it that weird. But then something happened. I heard laughter. I didn't know where it came from, but it felt like it was behind me. But there was nothing there. Josh, it's not funny, I shouted. But he didn't answer. I went to the toilet to check if he was there. I opened the door, and what I saw gave me chills. It was this blue liquid, but not just that. Where's Josh? I opened every toilet stall, but what happened next was terrifying. In the last toilet stall, there was a body of a child with a distorted face and huge eyes. I was in shock. I was scared, like I'd never been scared before. But what scared me the most was that Josh has disappeared. I closed the toilet stall and turned around. I looked in the mirror, and what I saw could not be real. The mirror had writing in blood on it. "It's playtime!" I fell to my knees in a panic. My heart dropped and I couldn't move. I didn't want to play. I did not. I started to shake uncontrollably until I was brave enough to get up and punch the mirror as hard as I could. Punch after punch until I broke it. My hand started to bleed, but I couldn't care less. 5 minutes had passed and I calmed down. I started to breathe easily and gain more control of my body. I left the toilet and closed the door. I leaned against the wall and started to think, did Josh see this and run? Did he get away? I can only hope he was okay. Josh was a strong guy, and he was way more braver than I was. He's definitely okay. I walked back to the Ferris wheel to see if Josh was there, and surprisingly he was. "Josh!" I shouted. I finally found him. "We need to get out of here. Now!" I said. "Why?" he said. "I'm so glad you're okay." "Why?" he said again. "The toilets!" I said. But Josh didn't understand. He was confused. It was like he didn't notice what was in the toilet, which I found impossible. "What are you talking about? Something was wrong with Josh." "Did you play?" he said. I didn't move. Josh turned around and went to the Ferris wheel. He got on it and sat down. He stared at me, and I stared back at him. He didn't blink. He didn't move. Gosh darn it! He didn't do nothing except stare at me. But then I noticed something. Every time I blinked, his eyes, oh God, his eyes got bigger. Blink after blink, and it didn't stop. This wasn't Josh. It was something else. His eyes got so big, they were no longer looking human. It was terrifying. I wanted to turn around, but I couldn't. For some reason, I wanted to keep staring at Josh's eyes. He started laughing. It wasn't his laugh, though. It was distorted. He started coughing blood while his eyes kept getting bigger until the point that Josh's eyes were bigger than his face. And he just kept on looking. He stopped. I heard a whisper. He wanted to play. "What about you? Do you want to play?" I screamed. I know that whatever this thing is made Josh go crazy. I had to turn around. I had to see it. What is that thing? That thing that killed Josh. I slowly turned around and started to breathe heavier. And then I saw it. It was Phil, just standing there, But instead of being a small and cute doll, it was a tall, dark, and ferocious man, smiling. He was angry, but his eyes didn't change. He didn't move. He just stood there in front of me. I started running away from that thing. I ran as fast as I could, trying to save my life. I looked behind me, but it still didn't move. I didn't care. I climbed over the fence and got on my bike. I started to ride my bike home. I was glad I survived, but I was sad for Josh. He deserved better. He shouldn't have died like this. And it was all because of me. Josh, I'm sorry. He was a good friend. I made my way home and opened the door, and it was 2 a.m., so my parents were asleep. I went to my bedroom and closed the door. I opened my bag to drink the water that I put in, but then I remembered the doll. It's in my bag. Oh God, it's in my bag. Both the second and third story were submitted by the same person, and I must say, very interesting stories with very different themes. I would like to know what you would have done in the third story. Would you have broken the mirror? Would you have ran? Would you have tried to save your best friend? Or would you have taken the coward's way out and decided to give in and play the game? That's all for today, folks. Thank you for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one.